Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a source that literally gives your body a voice. It's almost like an autobiography, straight from your own chest. So I want you to picture me as the organ itself, speaking directly to you right now. Think of it like, I am your thymus gland, and I am the crownless king of your immune system.
Okay, let's dive into this because it's actually pretty wild. For the longest time, the greatest biologists in the world completely misunderstood me. They looked at me and basically thought I was a biological hazard. I mean, imagine being the most important protector in a family and you're just treated like this distant, poor, entirely useless relative who brings nothing but trouble. Scientists actually used to think I was just a redundant, potentially harmful piece of biology that just kind of got in the way.
So that brings us to Section 1. The misunderstood underdog.
And the contrast here is just staggering. Back in those days of ignorance, I was labeled a useless, potentially harmful organ. But nature doesn't just create useless things, right? It just takes a highly developed intellect to actually understand them. Today, in modern science, I am literally the hottest research topic on the planet. Researchers are completely obsessed, realizing that I actually hold the ultimate keys to controlling major diseases, managing allergies, slowing down aging, and, get this, even fighting cancer.
Now let's move on to Section 2, Meet Your Thymus Gland.
Now what's really interesting here is that I might be the newly crowned king of medical research, but I sure don't look the part. My appearance is, well, it's not impressive at all. I'm just this yellowish-gray, matchbox-sized organ. Honestly, if you were holding me, I'd look kind of like a small knot of ginger. I just sit quietly, very humbly, tucked right behind your upper breastbone, perfectly positioned right there between your lungs.
But my life cycle, it is incredibly bizarre compared to your other organs. Check this out. At birth, I am already double my adult baseline weight. And as you grow and hit puberty, I absolutely explode in size, becoming 6 times larger just to build up your defenses. But then, this really strange thing happens. By the time you hit age 40, I've shrunk all the way down to just 1/3 of an ounce. I peak in your youth to set up your lifelong defenses, and then I just quietly fade into the background as you get older.
All right, Section 3, the Million Rupee Defense System.
The source material we're looking at actually describes this defense system as a priceless divine gift. It calls it an absolute marvel of nature. It frames my work not just as cold biology, but as a flawless masterpiece of creation that, honestly, we all tend to take entirely for granted. And to put that into a perspective we can all really wrap our heads around, just imagine if this free, built-in system suddenly shut down. To keep a human being alive in a sterile bubble, trying to replicate the exact same job I do for you for free, that would literally cost millions of rupees every single month. Think about it. If a friend loaned you that kind of money, you'd be indebted to them for life. Yet we almost never thank our own bodies for this incredible multi-million rupee security system.
And this brilliantly illustrates what I'm up against. The invaders are relentless. Day in and day out, I'm out there identifying and slaughtering bacteria, viruses, dirty splinters and thorns, fungi, environmental poisons, and even your own mutated cells. If any of these try to cross your borders, I act as your ultimate protector, neutralizing the threat in minutes.
Which leads us into Section 4, the silent war on cancer.
The source uses this deeply fascinating metaphor here to explain mutated cells. It defines cancer cells as normal citizens of the body that have strayed from the Sirate Mustaqim, which means they've veered off the straight path of the body's strict good behavior programming. Just like in any society, right? There's guidance, and then there's deviation. And every single day, in every human, young, old, male, female, these misguided cells are born. It is my job to recognize these rogue cells and assassinate them on that exact same day. But here's where the dramatic tension really builds. If just literally one rogue cell manages to escape this daily slaughter, it goes underground. It multiplies silently for 10 to 15 years before finally showing up as a full-blown tumor. And when a doctor cures it, humans shower that doctor with endless gratitude. But they completely ignore me, the thymus, who silently and successfully fought off thousands of these rogue cells every single day, without ever asking for a simple thank you.
Let's jump to Section 5, the Commander's Police Outposts.
So the text proudly adopts my voice again here, declaring, I am the commander-in-chief of an armed force that remains in a constant state of war. I don't just fight, I coordinate.
I'm managing a military force inside you that easily rivals all the armed forces of the entire world combined. You have trillions of enemy troops trying to breach your borders through the air, your food, your water, and I am the general leading that defense.
If you think of your body as this massive, heavily guarded fortress, here are my checkposts. You've got the spleen, the bone marrow, your tonsils and adenoids, specific tracts in your intestines, and of course, your lymph nodes. Whether you are fast asleep dreaming or wide awake at work, these internal police stations are on high alert, constantly reporting back to me, the commander.
And these outposts, they don't just operate in isolation. They are intricately connected by a vast lymphatic network of tiny tubes, mostly located in your neck, your armpits, and your groin. They secure the body's borders so no invisible invader can cross your skin, enter your mouth, or touch your eyes without immediately tripping a massive, highly coordinated alarm.
Finally, Section 6, a lifesaver from birth.
So the crucial point is this. A newborn baby arrives into this heavily infected world completely defenseless. For a very brief window, they rely entirely on a temporary inherited immunity passed down through the mother's blood. But it's a really short-lived shield against the trillions of pathogens waiting in the air.
And here is the hard, uncompromising truth drawn directly from our source material. Without a thymus gland stepping up to build that immune system, a simple, minor infection quickly becomes fatal. A child born without me cannot survive beyond a few short months. I'm not a backup system. I'm not some optional upgrade. I am the absolute baseline for human survival from day one.
All of this leaves us with a pretty profound question. What other medical secrets does the resilient, ever-vigilant thymus gland hold for the future of our health? We have really only just scratched the surface of this biological marvel, and the source material promises even more incredible revelations in Part 2. So until then, take a deep breath and maybe take a moment to appreciate the crownless king working silently inside your chest right now.